Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Can you hear me? Wrong and Pumema, can you hear? All right, let us recite Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. O Allah, you are the most merciful, the most compassionate, the most forgiving. Please forgive all our sins, our parents, our families, our teachers, our friends, and all brothers and sisters. O Allah, please bless us with knowledge and virtue. O Allah, please bless us with your pleasure. And O Allah, please bless us in this month and extend the pleasure in the month of Ramadan. O Allah, you alone we worship and you alone we ask for help. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Alhamdulillah, first and foremost, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to continue. We are now in week number 4. MashaAllah. Now I can see today we have a full house. We only have 2 students in the Zoom. It means that we are no longer fully hybrid, but almost 100% face-to-face. But however, in order to also give equal opportunity to our brothers and sisters who are not able to join us due to the travel issues, so we continue to have the HTL, the hybrid teaching and learning. Our sisters and brothers, eager to enter into the new phase of spiritual journey? Are you eager to enter into Ramadan? Have you done the preparation? Have you applied your management knowledge to enter into Ramadan? To plan, to organize, to lead, and to control. This 1 month journey is a good practice, a good platform for you to practice your management functions. Okay, when you plan, the goal is already clear. Okay? The goal of Ramadan is to, what is the purpose of Ramadan? Betterment in terms of our piety, isn't it? Yeah? Piousness, our integrity, our sincerity, and our relationship with our Creator, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Okay? La'allakum tattaqun. Okay? This is very special, ritual, special journey for the servants and the wise servant of Allah, is when you can have a very close relationship, close contact with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and at the same time also to extend, to renew your hablum minan nas, relationship with the fellow human beings. So we have to plan. Again, we plan for the la'allakum tattaqun, for the taqwa. And also we have to plan the 30 days of Ramadan full with taqwa, full with the ibadah to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So therefore, we have to strategize. Okay? We have to strategize. How are we going to achieve? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Okay, that is the planning. Next, to organize, isn't it? Organize what? Organize your journey, isn't it? Daily journey from the 24 hours a day. When you wake up, you go to your class, to work, do your assignments, okay? And then perform your salat. You have to really organize. Okay? You have to organize according to the priorities. Okay? What are the top priorities to be done in the Ramadan? The fardu must be tip-top. Okay? Fardu, no questions. Perfect. And in addition, the recommended, all right, the encouraged will be also enhanced within your capability. So you can prioritize according to the categories of your rituals. Yeah? Journey rituals in Ramadan. 5 times salat cannot be compromised. Okay, no matter what, your schedule remains. Right? Your schedule remains. Okay? No holiday in Ramadan. Okay, Ramadan we have no holiday except Pago campus. Pago campus has a holiday on the first Ramadan because Pago campus is in the state of Johor. Right? They have a special public holiday at the state of Johor. State of Selangor, ya Allah. Keep working, keep studying, no problem. Remember the rewards of Ramadan. How many times? The scholar said 10 times, but we are not concerned about how much is the reward. We are more concerned that our spirituality, our role will be enhanced in the Ramadan. Organize activities for your prayers, for your Quran. What else? Sadaqah. Sadaqah can be money, can be kinds, and also can be also your effort. Make effort. Go and help people to distribute the food in the Ramadan. Join the association of that giving food. I think some of you are in the food bank, so give. You only have 3 things, few things in your hand. Just give. The spirit of giving in Ramadan. Okay? Organize day and night. Okay? We have the Tarawih special, right? No Tarawih. Shaban we have no Tarawih, right? Is there a Tarawih in Shaban? No, in only Ramadan. Okay? Make sure that Tarawih, make sure that you won't miss anything. But those who have night classes, it's not an excuse to miss your Tarawih. Okay, night classes doesn't mean that you will be excused. Okay? No excuse, even though in Ramadan. Next, lead. Like leading, you need to do what? In leading, motivate. Okay, tired already, right? Keep going. Tired already. First day, okay, no problem. Second day, no problem. Third day, the energy is starting to reduce. Okay, and the 4th day, oh, tired. Okay, 5th day, tired. Keep going, give the motivation. Tell yourself, this is the month of Ramadan, the month that is full with barakah. I cannot miss any single thing. Tell yourself. You can tell yourself, you can also tell others. So we have a lot of tazkirah reminders in the month of Ramadan. Okay? Motivation, lead, motivate, show. Remind people that is la'allakum tattaqun. Qiyamul Layl, Laylatul Qadar, okay? Quran. Don't miss one alphabet 10 times. You are memorizers, mashallah. Continue to recite Quran. And finally, controlling. You need to control to make sure that you don't nullify. Do not nullify your ibadah. Make sure that you don't do anything that can nullify. There are so many people, they are on fasting, but what they receive? Except thirsty, right? Thirsty and hungry. Why? Because they do not follow the spirit, the requirements of Ramadan. Every day, every day, every moment, you have to take inventory. How? Oh, whether or not I'm on the track. So basically, Ramadan is the time for you to, to enhance la'allakum tattaqun. You can apply your 4 functions of management. All right, for today, we are going to continue. The number is increasing. We continue with the influence of the environment. We have environment. We are not isolated. We don't live alone in this world. We are living in the same planet called the planet Earth. And therefore, we have to understand our situation, our BR, that affect our activities. We plan, we organize, we lead, we control, but again, we also have the constraint and challenges due to our environment. Environment means forces, or anything that reduce your targets. You want to achieve taqwa in Ramadan. You want to achieve your target. You want to clean your room. You want to make sure that the parcel won't be lost somewhere. You wanted to make sure that no anxiety. This is the time in Ramadan to expedite your activities. But because you have the full power, the power for all of us in Ramadan at the optimum level. Like you are dealing with RON 97 or Super 97 fuel, not the ordinary RON 95. Are you following my metaphor? What's different with the RON 95 97? 95 and 97, no different. Price, right? If you are driving, you used to have both. If you use 95, okay, yes, minimum can move the car, but you have some noises in the engine, especially the older car. But if you are using RON 97, expensive, about 4 ringgit per liter, you can feel it is smooth. Mean to say it is with high power. So in Ramadan 97, not 95. Because the environment is given by Allah. The environment is controlled by Allah without the forces, especially our enemies. Our enemies have been sent for confinement, right? Have been sent to jail for 1 month. They cannot go out. All this while, they are influencing us. We have a target, what we easily diluted, less motivated because of the enemies. That environment is reality, our reality. So we have excellent outside the organization, outside ourselves, and also inside, which is we call the culture of the organization. So how managers are going to see this situation? So our environment is something that managers need to be considered as out of control, or environment is something that managers have the ability to control. The omnipotent view say that regardless whatever situation, managers are the one to be responsible. All right? If organization fail, if organization success, because the managers, managers cannot shift the blames to other things. Only managers. Is it fair? So another people say no. Managers are human beings. Managers are not superhumans. Managers are not superheroes or super creatures that have all the powers. So when you have problem, you can have special powers or special magic that you can solve. No, you are not. Remember, you are the individuals who are given the amanah or the trust by the organization to work with others, right? To work with others to get things done. You have to work with others. It's not only you alone. Okay, managers, of course, we're talking about managers, we have different hierarchy of managers. Top managers, next, middle, first line. Why we are trouble ourselves to know different level of managers? Why do we need to have different level of managers? Because to focus on our roles, our jobs, and also our skill. Okay, focus our skill. Top managers, they are more on conceptual, more on conceptual. Middle managers, in between, all right? Conceptual, humans, and technical. First line managers, just the technical, direct day to day. Okay, it doesn't mean that top managers do not know anything about day to day, but they are focused more on the future directions, conceptual imagination of the organization in the future. Okay, where do we want to bring the organization in the future? And also the first line managers have the same thinking, but they don't focus. Okay, 80% of the time on the day-to-day activities. They reserve 20% to think about the future. And when I was head of department, first line manager, my 80% of my time on day-to-day, rubber stamp, sign, rubber stamp, sign, rubber stamp. That's my job. You know, a lot of files, a lot of forms given to the office through the admin staff and put on my table, and my job after teaching, rubber stamp, sign, rubber stamp, sign, rubber stamp, sign, until I order one rubber stamp for signature only. I don't have to sign. Just rubber stamp my name and together, rubber stamp name and also signature. But I have to do the rubber stamp. 80% of my time as a first line manager on the day-to-day. And I have to know about the workers, the human resources, the teachers that teaching. 25 only, not many. 25 workers. I have to manage 25 workers. And also to cater the need of 5,000 students of the department. Day to day, I have to know everything. SOPs, procedures, So 6 years of in the role as a first line managers, everything already in your fingertips and also your mind. But do I have anything to do with the future? Yes. We were asked to plan what will be the next 10 years of our program. Then suddenly just 20% on the conceptual, 80% on the technical day-to-day. Of course, the human is always relevant to all managers because you're working with the people. Whether you are managing 25 or you're managing 100 or you're managing 300, you are dealing with humans. Okay? The more the humans you are dealing with, the more trouble that you have to think. Okay? One person said they cannot come to work because they have to take care of their cats. Another person, they cannot come to work because they have to take care of their sick children. Another person cannot come to work, cannot focus on because they have trouble at home. Another, they are in the stage of not stable because of just, have a breakup with their spouses. We are not. I'm not counselors. I wasn't a counselor, but I have to do what as a first line manager. When your workers approach you and give you all this kind of stories, what managers have to do? Manager's role. You have to be leader. You have to be imam to do what? You have 2 years. Listen and listen until people finish already. Finish already? Alhamdulillah. May Allah bless you. Don't say anything, managers shouldn't say anything because you are not registered counselor, or we are afraid that whatever you say will be becoming negative impact to the person. What you say? Alhamdulillah, may Allah help you, may Allah ease you, okay? May Allah bless you, we hope that Allah will ease you. That's all I can say. But you have to spend half an hour, 1 hour listening. Brothers and sisters, being manager, this one is very important. And Allah created these 2, right? How many more? 1. That means we have to listen, and listen. Okay? First line managers have to listen a lot in interpersonal. And never ever try to be counselor. I survived for 6 years. I'm able to listen, and I won't say anything. I just make dua. Good thing about us, we are trained to make dua, right? May Allah bless you. May Allah help you. Okay, that's good, because we can't solve people's problem. Do you think that when you say this one to me, I don't have problems? Managers are super people, no problems. Because we also like you, right? You also have cats at home, right? You also have children at home. You also have neighbors at home, right? People park in front of our gate. We cannot go out. Who's going to listen to my problem now? If my colleagues can talk to me, their problem, how about me? First line manager will talk to middle manager. I go to middle manager. Middle manager's problem, talk to top managers. Top managers, talk to themselves. You are not fair. All right. Top managers are humans. They are not robots. They are not superheroes. But that's why we have to talk to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. We have to talk to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. The best moment in our life, is when we Allahu Akbar. MashaAllah, the best moment. No disturbances, no problem. Our mind all free, nothing. We already indulged. For sure. The conversation with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. After this salam, Assalamualaikum. Oh, problem start to come in. So, in order to avoid it, Allah Akbar again. That's why I don't continue to do not daytime. Daytime, Allah Akbar also we have distraction. Nighttime, MashaAllah. The best, moment. And the best moment when you are sujood, MashaAllah. Okay, sujood when you can have 100% of oxygen. And you see, those who are suffering from cognitive hospital, what doctor ask them to do? To click a sujood, right? Something like sujood posture, right? That is the best moment because you can have the 100% of oxygen and you direct to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. That is manager's role, interpersonal, informational, and decisional. Istikhara, make dua. If you tell people cannot help, you tell me also cannot help. Because I also have my own problems. I also have problem in my mind. Okay, about neighborhood, about siblings, about weather. Now we have this what? The weather is very, very hot, isn't it? Yeah. We might have stroke. Be careful nowadays. That's why you have to be careful. Always let yourself indoor, reduce yourself outdoor, because you could have stroke due to the weather, the heat stroke. Be careful. COVID-19 still there. Don't be happy. Community still there. Now we are suffering the climate change and the heat stroke. Okay, we are not able to do everything. Everything is actually outside our control. Therefore, we have to manage our environment. How do we manage? Ignore them? No, we don't ignore. But we have to address them. We have to address our environment and also our culture. We need, that's why we have to plan. We have to organize. We have to lead, and also we have to control. Okay, because we are not powerful. We are not superhumans. And our environment also not static. They are not static. Okay, they keep changing. Keep changing means dynamic. Okay, dynamic. They are not static. Humans, for example, humans are not static, isn't it? You have different thinking, right? Preferences, different culture, okay? Different generation. Your generation is the millennial. My generation, what is my generation profile? All generation, not the baby boomers, too old. The baby boomers, all of them already retired from the service. So I'm after the baby boomers, the generation X. So this generation X also, soon will be also retired. Then we have the generation Y, Z, and all of you. Different, right? Not different. That's why now how to work together with generation X, Y, Z, and millennial. Keep changing, right? No? And then also the complexity of the change so different. More variables. Okay, for example, when you do business nowadays, your business, you have many competitors, isn't it? Many competitors, many suppliers. Customers also, right? Different categories. Right? Customers are not the monotonous customers. They wanted to have more varieties. What else? We have also the government also not easy to understand, very complex. It's not like they go to the parliament sitting, or the state assembly sitting, just straightforward, right? Of course, they have the agenda in the meeting, but the way they discuss, very complex. What they shouted in the house, different from what they gazetted. Something that we couldn't understand. This is, we're talking about the politics. How about the government? The government have policies, procedures that keep changing. Right? We also have economics not stable, not a varieties. Now this conflict is still ongoing, right? Ukraine and Russia. We do not know how to end them. Do you have any magic? Anyone has a magic stick? Ukraine, Russia. Okay, but Boko Haram. We don't have the magic. And in fact, the magic already given to us. You know what is the magic given to all of us? Allah already given us the magic. Whether we want to use or not the magic. What are the magic? The Quran, right? The Quran, the revelation, the Quran and the Sunnah are the magic. Mu'jizat. So if you don't use the magic, you have to use the magic. Okay? You cannot put on the shelf. Don't put on the shelf. Use it. Okay? Not just accept, but use it. So all these are outside. Okay? Remember, they are not stable. Of course, certain organizations, they have a stable. They have a stable customer, stable suppliers. That's school, right? Schools are stable. Yeah? We don't see you today, you are here, tomorrow you are different part of the world, right? Stable means 14 weeks will be here, right? But of course, one or two will be, we decided to withdraw from the course, but not like all of a sudden like 100 students withdrawn from the course. That's not happened because this is stable. But starting, week 1, 100 students, week 2, 200, week 3, 500, week 4, 90 students, week 5, 10 students. This we call very dynamic, not stable. But right now we are stable. Universities are stable. Schools are stable. But university can be also not stable when they change the standard. No longer following the standard. They follow the description. For example, like the creative university, they don't have single or standard syllabus. It's up to them. It's up to the students how are they going to learn what they want to learn. It's not prescribed. That is not stable. We are moving into the uncertainty world. We want to change. You people, some of the young people, they already wise up. We do not want to follow the old school. This is old school. 14 weeks, follow syllabus, follow textbook, have examination, have test, quiz, assignment, all this. We call it the conventional, traditional, old school. The younger people say, we don't want this. We want to dismantle university. We want to dismantle hospital. We don't want everything. What we want? We only want happiness. Every day we want entertainment, we want happiness. Right? Some people say, better we dismantle hospital. Hospital shouldn't be exist in our life. Do you agree? You disagree? You still want the hospital to exist? We are entering into endemic. Everyone will be doctors and nurses to themselves. We don't need hospital anymore. Now government also said not hospital anymore. Now we are empowering all the citizens to take care of their health. Now you can use your oximeter. You can use your thermometer. You can use your the blood pressure meter. You can also buy your stethoscope. Doctors nowadays, one doctor that I met in the meeting of all the directors of hospital, that doctor already didn't use the stethoscope for 5 years already. Because that one is no longer relevant. If you see doctor with stethoscope, that one just for part of fashion. And that fashion only, because now everything digital, isn't it? The oximeter replacing the stethoscope. All right, no need anymore. No need to use this what called stethoscope. So therefore, it is time to say to the government is going to dismantle hospital. Hospital is not hospital, but rather what you call a place where people have socialization. Socialization for therapies and so forth, not hospital anymore. School also. Now parents say, no need school. We don't want school anymore. Dismantle school. Or change school to be something else. Homeschooling, right? And how many of you here? Product of homeschooling? Any of you here? Never gone to school? Oh, this batch we don't have, right? None of you in the Zoom? Any of you homeschooling products? MashaAllah, the people still old school. MashaAllah, old school, still going to school every day, wearing uniform. You don't feel bored, no? Never feel bored? From preschool, kindergarten, uniform, preschool uniform, primary uniform, secondary school uniform, matric uniform, only here no uniform. But some people even they want to introduce, they suggested university, hey, why don't we introduce uniform to university students? Like student in Indonesia. Right? Student in Indonesia, they have uniform, isn't it? The S1, S2, and S3. Okay, they call themselves S1, S1 uniform, S2 uniform, and S3 uniform. Because they like uniformity. Even when they perform Hajj also, they have uniform according to their province. Okay? Any of you, oh, you never been, right? Any of you used to go to Umrah before this? Special, no? People from Indonesia, they subscribe to uniformity. I can see, school, at the university also they have uniform. You people never been born to go to school, right? But some parents, they're no longer sending their children to the school. They apply permit from the education department to do homeschooling. I think soon later there will be package for homeschooling. But I think all of you don't want to stay at home to teach your own children, right? Teaching old children are very challenging. I have people try to teach old children. The children look at the mother. Mom, nugget, mom. Do this, nugget. Do that, fried chicken. And the mom cannot teach because of the affection, sentimental value. Cannot teach. And they say that person who surrendered, cancel the license, return back the children to the school. Headmaster, please enroll my children. I cannot teach anymore. Because now very challenging to teach old children. Even though few, but cannot concentrate. But it's possible, in the future, due to pandemic, etc., you might want to do the homeschooling, home, hospital. Okay, but now endemic, we are now all of us now doctors and nurses for ourselves. Okay, even you go a doctor, they say, okay, isolate yourself, take care of yourself, read your temperature, read the oximeter, report into the master, done. That's already right. This we call innovation. The digital innovation we don't need anymore. However, we have challenges in terms of the data, privacy, and also threats from big companies. Because of the changes are dynamic, therefore we have to understand the degree of the change. If the change is little, we call stable. If the change is frequent, okay, and we can't predict, therefore we call dynamic. Similarly, in terms of the complexity, if so many actors, there's so many factors, we call it is complex. Okay, like competitors. We have competitors, main competitors, we have sub-competitors, we have satellite competitors, we have got further competitors, and also we have white market, gray market, black market, green market, blue market. We also have layers of authorities at the community, at the regional, at district, and so forth. This will increase the complexity in the administration. But certain places they don't have. They're very simple and straightforward. I used to live in the country that very simple, situation. The administration was simple, politics also simple, economy also simple. I feel very relieved and stable, live in that particular situation. I used to live in this stable and simple environment for more than 3 years. But when I returned to my home country, I live in this very dynamic and very complex. I used to live in the extreme of cell number 1 and cell number 4. But which one I prefer? I follow what the Riau's proverb used to say. You know Riau? Riau proverbs, they used to say the golden rain. Are you following the golden rain? The golden rain in other countries, right? The rocky rains. The rocky rain is in our country. Which one is preferable? The golden rain or the rocky rain? The real people say the rocky rings. Okay, because the rocky ring, even it's rocky, it's not golden, even though dynamic, but this is your homeland. You know how to survive. Even though if you are homeless, you know how to survive. But if you're homeless in cell number 1, you will be clueless. This is my own experience. I agree with the real. I'm not sure whether you agree with the real people philosophy. Okay, this all real people are not from Peninsula. All this pantun that we use, this is not from Peninsula Malaysia. It's from the Riau Island. Because the Malay language that we are using now, it is not from Sumatra, not from Java, not from Kalimantan, but from the Riau Islands. Okay, sometimes they call this bahasa Melayu as the bahasa Riau. Okay, so very dominant area, just small island, but used by all the people in the region. Yeah? Whether you are from Peninsula Malaysia, Borneo, Sumatra, Java, Thailand, Philippines, use this Riau language rather than other dialect. So we need to manage, we have to classify what is actually our situation. Whether we belong to cell number 1, cell number 2, number 3, or number 4. How do we apply to your project? Similarly, yes. Remember, you have to talk to your collaborators, isn't it? You have collaborators among them, the Mahala officers, right? MO. Last time I thought, what is MO? I thought MO refer to GP. Sometimes we call the GP also MO, medical officer. But if then you talking about Mahala, then might be Mahala officer. Right? What else? Your collaborators, those who wanted to settle the problem with the parcel, with the courier companies, right? Those who wanted to solve the problem with anxiety, they have to talk to the expert in psychology. So we have to see whether or not is it easy to deal with them. Some of them ask you to provide evidence, license, what I call permission letter from the kuliah or from the lecturers. Some of them, okay, they can entertain your request freely. That depends on the requirements of the stakeholders. So if you are dealing with cell number 4, you will be more alert in terms of your reading. You have to read, you have to prepare, and always have what we call alternatives. Alternatives. Always have plan B, plan C, D until Z. Yeah? Always have backup for this. Okay, brothers and sisters in the Zoom, are you following? Are you following my discussion? Can you say something? I cannot hear. And I cannot hear, I do not know, but here I can see
Yes,
people.
sir.
Yeah. Sister Yulia, can you hear me? Can you say something?
I can hear you well, sir.
Can you hear anything? Is it my problem? Can you say something? I can't hear anything from you. I think my mic is open, right? Oh, you can hear, but can you say anything? Sister from China or brother from China, can you say something? Please test your voice. So far, I can see Sister Yulia is attempting to say something, but the rest has no attempt. Okay, Sister Yulia, what do you want to say? Please switch on your mic and say something.
I can hear you well.
You cannot hear me?
I can hear you well.
Can you try to say again?
Hello?
Can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Very far, eh? Very far. Brother Sulaimi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Hello?
No question from you, Brother Sulaimi? Brother
Hello?
Sulaimi,
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
you can hear my voice, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Am I very far? What went wrong? Last time you can hear very clear, right? No? The voice from the Zoom. Is it because their microphone or our microphone here? Never mind. This is a complexity, isn't it? It's uncertain, right? Sometimes can, sometimes cannot. This is not uncertain. Why uncertain? Because this is technology. Technology is also another component of the environment. See, technology. Technology is uncertain. Because like Wi-Fi was right, it's also uncertain. Because we do not know. It's because they are using sometimes Wi-Fi or unifiers are not working because we have the creatures in the forest that disturb the cable. At my place, 2 days we didn't have unifier, and we discovered that the cable already broken by the big monkeys. They came, they came and then they jump, they show circus to all of us, and they drag down, the cable, and the cable broken. And they have to repair for 2 days. Until night, day and night, the technician from PM have to repair the cable. That one beyond our control. We cannot control the animal, right? I think student from Somalia, Nusaibah, right? Which group that wanted to solve the animal problems? From Somalia. Can I see which group? Your group, mashallah, see? In case you have problem with animals, we have our references. Okay, they can give you advice. Perhaps one thing you have to learn how to communicate with the animals. Communication skill, not human skill, but wild animal skill. Talk to the animals. And according to the villagers, they say the presence of the wild, not stray cats, stray dogs reduce the presence of the monkeys and also wild boars. Oh, now they say no wonder now I could see a lot of stray dogs in our campus surrounding and also our village because they wanted to repel the monkeys and also the wild boars. So another problem with the stray dogs, they will also disturb us, isn't it? They disturb our garbage bins, they disturb our vehicles because they don't have toilets, right? They urinate everywhere they like, and then the victims will be our vehicles. And for us, Malay Muslim, we are very sensitive. Anything touched by the dogs, we will have to do what? The Malay Muslim are very sensitive. To do what? We will do the Sharia cleansing. Are you familiar with Sharia cleansing, sister? Never heard. But the Malay Muslim here in Malaysia are very sensitive. Anything touched by the dog, immediately they will wash 7 times water, and the last one with the soil, right? Or 7 times. Then we will feel better. Even when I was in overseas, we have public barbecue stove, right? The Malay Muslim from Malaysia did what? They wash 7 water, and finally with the soil, water that mixed with the soil. Alhamdulillah, now they feel better. But other than you cannot do that because you can damage the facility. What you can do, you bring your own aluminum foil. You just put there. You don't have to, use the plates. you can, you can cover the plate with the aluminum foil. You have to be smart, not to be too conservative until you become so rigid. Of course, no, the sheltering is very important to ensure the state of purity and hygiene. Okay, the external factors that managers cannot control are divided into what you call the external environment, and the general environment, and also the specific environment. Okay, the economy, you cannot control the economy, the GDP, inflation, right? The GDP cannot control, the currency action you cannot control. Yeah, but you can manage. You can manage by reducing or collaborating, or having arrangement, pre-arrangement with your suppliers and so forth. Demographic, you cannot control also. You cannot control the population. You cannot control what called the genders, male and female. You cannot control the preferences of people. Under demographic. In fact, we wanted to have more population, but sometimes people don't want. In Singapore, they have problem now. They don't have enough population. Okay, those from Singapore, I think you can feel, they can feel that they need. They are now encouraging their people to have more children. But younger people nowadays, they don't want. Nation also nowadays, they don't want to have children. And some of them, they don't want to get married. Can you control? Because as managers, we need talent, right? We need workers. Okay? We need talents in our organization. If we don't have enough population, then we don't have the pool of talents. This is our problem now, managers are facing. That's why they encourage the young people, please consider to, even the government provide incentive to the marriage incentive, reproduction incentive even. Yeah, some people they marry late, they have difficulties to conceive. Now we have the fertility services. Even you are given some tax rebates for you to undergo the fertility, treatment. And because they want the population, they want, if possible, every couple to have 10 children, right? If 20, mashallah, very good. Any of you? You have that kind of goal in your thinking? 10, 20 children? Sister, in your culture, what is average? In your society, your culture, what is the average of children per couple? 3. Brothers? 4, 5, 7, 8, 10. No sibling, only you. 3 or 4. Any brother here? 15 siblings. Rare, right? Nowadays, right? Very rare. But we don't have, among lecturers here, they have 10 children. But what happened? They cannot drive sedan. They have to drive van. Toyota Light is van, 15 seat. Masa nak minus 10 children, 7-seater Avanza. Estima, okay, probably, but it's according to seat also not enough. 15 seat van, almost like the school van, right? The school van. The smaller bus, like coaster, or minibus. So when you think about 15 children, you must also plan now to get bus license. But nowadays, no, people now turning bus into their camp van, right? Camp van or caravan. Nowadays, when they go for outing, they don't want to stay in the hotel. Now, what they did, they will stop at beaches or at waterfall area, and they set up their own camp van. So now, take license, bus license, E, class E, and target 20 children. One couple, 20 children. Brothers, you have more responsibility. go for maximum. You know what? 4 wives, 1 wife, 24. This is not joke, no? This is in our national policy in Malaysia. We have a 70 million population policy. 70 million population. Now how many million population? 32 million only. How many years already this policy on? In 1980s not. Now 2022 still 32 million. So how to get double? At least double lah, no 70 you get double, 60. Can you do? Don't expect us now, we already expired. Yeah, people like us already expired, you know. Women of our age already unable to conceive, but you people now, we are getting on you. I keep telling you in every class, no? Because now Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is very happy to see the big ummah. Can you, brothers and sisters, convince me that you are going to increase the population? Malaysian, no? Malaysian, I want to hear Malaysian. Brothers, can you help the country? If people say, what can you give to your country? I will give population to my country. Can you tell the rector, I will give population to my country? How many population? 150 students here. One student give 20, multiply. Inshallah, you know, my class, I will say to the country, inshallah, my class will contribute at least, 150 multiplied by 20. At least, no? Brothers, they have more challenges. 4 wives multiplied by 20, you are more responsibilities. I can convince, if all of you have this kind of thinking, inshallah, we can double our population to 60 million population in the country. Not 70, but we can get 60 million. But if you don't want to marry, you only thinking about 1 or 2, you can only replace the couple, right? Replace couple means you only maintain the population. If the population don't want to get married, reduce the population. This is what happened in Singapore. We only have the living example in Singapore now. They are dying now without the population. All right? We need population. So even we cannot change, now this is my attempt, to motivate all of you brothers and sisters to address the problem with demography, because we need customers, we need talents, we need workers, we need, we need more workers, we need more people to join the military, right? To be armies, to be police. No, not enough police. We celebrated 215 anniversary of police. We have lack of police. We need 120,000 police, men and women, but we only have 94,000, not enough. We don't have enough, in the Navy. We don't have in the Air Force and also all the armed forces in the country. So you people need to supply this to all the sectors. So if I cannot control anything, but I can try to convince. This is what managers can do, to convince people. Legal politics, can you convince anything? Legal? You can use your voting power. You cannot change their behavior, but you can use your voting power. The global, Ukraine, Russia, Germany, etc. What you can do, you can send petition. You can send petition, you run petition, and then you send your memorandum to the respective ambassadors. And social cultures, people change their lifestyle also, but you can try to build through your effort, like Usra and so forth. Managers also can do in the team building, special activities in the organization and so forth. Okay, the special environment, like your customers, competitors, government, they are outside your company, your organization, but you can work with them. With customers, we call the cooperation. With competitors, also we can have cooperation. Ta'awun. Okay? Ta'awun ala birri wa taqwa. Ta'awun, wala ta'awan is one on one. You can cooperate. Now the time for us to do the co-creation, co-production, okay, co-opetition. We can work together with the government nowadays. Okay, work the government through the partnership, the government partnership, the government transformation program, and also the public can be the pressure groups, the movement, okay, the NGOs. Now we have so many NGOs, right? Don't afraid, no, brothers and sisters, to set up your own NGOs. We have the freedom. You go to RS, Registrar of Society, you can establish your own. For example, some of you have like 3F organization. 3F. Which group doing the 3F? 3 Fridays. Only 3 Fridays. A free food organization. You register your free food organization and then organize AGM, and then you want to be president, right? You president for your own organization. If you're the president, open an organization. I learned this, many years ago in estate, In estate, we don't have many population, but these estate people love to establish societies. And of course, it's based on the religion base, some based on their interests. Okay, youth club for Tongkat, youth club for Taekwondo, youth club for this. Establish. And when the government offer grant, annual grant, they apply. 5 people, 5 of them have 5 clubs. They're very smart, right? Like you said, you have 3 members, right? All your 3 will become president. This club, you're president. The other club, your friend president. Another club, your another friend becoming president. You will become a secretary. The other club, you becoming treasurer. But you have now 3 of you. You have 3 societies or association. So this is another treasure groups. Sometimes we call you pay the cyber troopers, right? Have you heard the term cyber troopers? Netizen. This is also the creation you can create, to give impression that you are popular. You can create that, oh, mashallah, I'm a very popular person and very influential in my society because I have behind me 150 NGOs. I don't say 150 students behind me. I say behind me, all of you 150, all of you one association. I have, how influential am I? You know who is behind me? Behind me, 150 NGOs. Wow, I feel like awful, like only 150 students only. But I don't call student, I call NGOs. This is called the treasure group that created by the society. In our country, in Malaysia, we have that liberty, we have the freedom to establish your association. Not difficult. Establish, and every year you have to do AGM. Every year AGM, then you report. Report also online nowadays. I know this because I'm also one of the office directors of my residential association. So you can establish this. One of the suggestions for all your projects, I suggest you can open an association under the Registrar of Societies in Malaysia. Okay? Register, and then you can invite your friend. All your friends becoming members. Pay just ringgit fee, and all of you becoming members. Okay? 150 NGOs, the same people you recycle. The same people members, the same people NGOs, and 150 NGOs, we have 150 members. Are you following me? This is the trick what happened in our society when they wanted to give public treasure to the business. They say behind me 150 NGOs, behind me 1,000 NGOs, behind me 2,000 NGOs. You heard the NGOs people feel afraid, right? This is called strategies in the war, the battlefield. Okay? It happened many times. As if now you have a lot of troops, but actually you only have few, but you magnify it to make it better. So this you can also apply to address the pressure from the specific environment. Okay, inshallah, next class we will go into the culture. inside the organization. Okay. In conclusion, number one, managers have to get things done. However, managers have to face the challenges from the external environment. Okay? External environment are not in the control of managers, but managers can address or can respond. The keyword, we can respond to the forces. How do we respond? Through collaborations, through what we call activities that we can do together with others, or we can create our own pressure, in order to counter the pressure from others. Okay? Therefore, we have to be creative, innovative, and at the same time also to be responsive. Okay, inshallah, next class we look at how are we going to address the internal aspect of us in the organization, which is the culture. Okay? Not just culture, but the culture of the organization. All right, and with that we end our session with Tasbih Kafara and Sabtas. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa nasri al-salat khuzral ladina al-salihat wa tawassabil akhwat wa tawassabil sabr. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.